The fourth part of my presentation is about the issues of gift giving and bribery as an ethical consideration in the business world, whether or not such an act would be considered corruption. So basically, the question that needs answering is what are considered as gifts and what are considered as bribes. Well, both gifts and bribes can be actual items, or they can even be privileges, tickets to sport events, travel, vacation, even restaurant meals. While gift giving is considered proper or even customary, bribes on the other hand is considered wrong, even detrimental to the goodwill and brand equity of any business. Gift giving is merely an act of extending goodwill. It is an effort to share something with particular to other people. In order to determine whether the act of gift giving is morally right, there are certain things that needs considering. For example, the value of the gift. Is it proper? Is it modest? Is it extravagant? Also to be considered is the purpose of the gift. Is there something being asked in return? Is it just a mere act of goodwill, where the consideration is merely affection? To be considered as well is the circumstances under which the gift was given or received. Is there occasion to give such a gift? Is there reason? Is the reason innocent? Is the reason proper? And finally, to be considered is the position between the relationship between the giver and the receiver. Is the relationship good or deep enough that a gift is considered customary? Has it been tradition over the years, a practice between the two persons, the giver and the receiver? Such should be considered in order that the propriety of receiving or giving gifts may be determined. On the other hand, bribery has been defined as the practice of giving reward for the performance of an act that is inconsistent with the work or the contract or the nature of the work a person has been hired to perform. You have to ask the question whether the gift received was used as an instrument perhaps to gain an advantage. Was the gift perhaps used to induce or corrupt the concept of justice and equality? Whether the gift is in fact a bribe because it creates the impression of general distrust of the institution. When the answers to such questions points towards the direction of bribery, then such an act of gift giving is not proper, especially if it destroys the people's trust in the integrity of the professional services, even of the government and the courts, of law enforcement, even religion. Bribery, in fact, treats people as commodities whose honors can be bought and sold. In the context of Republic Act 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, Section 3, subsection B of said act defines the act of corruption as the direct or indirect requesting or receiving from any gift, present, share, for the benefit of himself or for any other person in connection with any contract or transaction between the government and any other party wherein the public officer in his official capacity has to intervene under the law. Otherwise, this can also be said that when the act of receiving or giving a gift, the very purpose for such act was in fact to personally benefit a person or a group of persons in a transaction being conducted with any government agency, and such benefit is derived because the gift was used to induce the intervention of the officer whose custody or obligation is in connection with the transaction being negotiated. That is the end of part 4 of my report, and that concludes my part of the discussion. Thank you very much.